Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the final video for 2024's March Insanity. I am Tad, of course, and I am here to recap the finals, which is now in the books. Of course, I need to say up front, it is April 1st, of course, but I always promise. In the number of years we've been doing this now, I don't remember if when we came back in 2022, because we did it originally March Insanity in 2019. Then we kind of thought that was a one and done thing. But then in 2022, we decided to resurrect it. I don't remember if it was 2022 for sure that we were doing YouTube updates, but I know for certain I was doing it in 23 and 24, I believe. I'm almost certain. So with that, this is the last update video, of course, until next year. But let's go ahead and dive on in. This, of course, is trying to crown our worst Dark Tower moments, which is 2024's. Just to recap history. 2019, we did most hated Dark Tower character, which is Rhea of the Coups. And then we had 2022, we had a layover. And in 2022, we decided to bring it back and make it an annual thing. And 2022 was most beloved Dark Tower character, where Eddie Dean, by a single vote, beat Oi the Brave. And then in 2023, we had best Dark Tower moment. So I guess the pattern there is 19, we did most hated character. 2022, we did most beloved character. Then 2023, we did best Dark Tower moment, which was ended up winning was the showdown at the Traveler's Rest, which we just covered in our last book club episode. And then this year, 2024, we are doing the yin to that yang of that best Dark Tower moment with the worst Dark Tower moments. So that is kind of how it is all broken down history-wise. Let's go ahead and jump on into it here. Let's look at the bracket, pull that up on screen real quick. So as you can see, if you're watching, and you have to be watching because I'm not doing this on the podcast, I will cover it, of course, on the next roundtable, which is a few days away. But I will, these updates are only on YouTube. So thank you for joining here. Or watching along here. I guess it's on a live stream. One of the few things I do that's on a live stream as well. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, the one that won was Charyu Tree, which was one that I said from the very beginning was one of my favorites. I don't know how hardcore I was on predictions. As I always tell everyone, we do the nominations, and then what I do is I build the bracket based on the nominations. The ones with the most nominations I put at the four corners. So Roland drops Jake, Jake's final death, Flag's death, and then Charyu Tree were the four most mentioned in the nominations. Not to say the other ones weren't mentioned quite a bit. It does get a little bit challenging sometimes, especially with like the fifth, sixth, sometimes even seventh ones. Sometimes they'll have a lot of numbers as well. So it's always interesting to where to put those. But I try to structure the bracket to where it's not like we're getting a finals type showdown in the first round. That would be stupid. So this is one though that I put my finger on pretty early on. I did feel this of the heavy hitters. This one felt to me like one that's really hard and probably one that would probably be hard to beat. We've had a number of upsets over the years. Including the finals a couple years ago. I mean, no poo-pooing Eddie, but I did not expect anyone to be Oi the Brave. So upsets happen all the way up into the finals. But even this year, I mean, Flag's death was one of the heavy hitters, and that lost in round one. And then we had Roland drops Jake, got bounced in round two to Eddie's death. And then Jake's final death got won its first round, but then got bounced in the third round by Eddie's death. So Eddie's death is the one that was pulling off a lot of upsets here, and then got up into the finals. So I said right before I guess it would have been about a week ago, or it was a week ago, because this voting for the final week is always a day short. So exactly a week ago, I remember telling y'all that I was not going to underestimate Eddie's death because it had pulled upsets pretty much the entire way. It took down one heavy hitter in the I guess not in the first round. The first round it was going against another of the lower ones, but then in the second round it beat one heavy hitter. In round three it beat another heavy hitter, and then here we are in the finals, and it is against another heavy hitter. So I was never going to bet against Eddie's death, but I think I said even last week I believe Charyu Tree was probably still my pick. Charyu Tree kind of breezed its way, beat Patrick falling asleep, it beat Roland killing his mom, and then it beat Oi lamenting Jake's death to end up here in the finals, and it did not disappoint against Eddie's death. The other big notable thing is Charyu Tree winning over Eddie's death here. I don't remember, and I have done a number of different places with these votes, so I don't necessarily have records of all the percentages, but my gut check is this is the most resounding victory in the history of the final showdown in March Insanity. This was a shellacking. This wasn't even close. Charyu Tree took 84% of the vote to 16% for Eddie's death. So as much as Eddie's death knocked out two of the other heavy hitters, it fell short against its third one. The third time was not indeed the charm. So that, again, resounding victory, 84% to 16%. Charyu Tree is the winner. And it is the crowned the most or the worst Dark Tower moment according to Dark Tower Palaver listeners and voters. So thank you all for being a part of it. I guess I'll jump to the next slide, which is to say 2025 March Insanity will return. Definitely stay tuned to Dark Tower Palaver. Generally what we do is I did gather some other topic ideas in the nominations to figure out the topic for this year. So I still have a little bit of a bag of ideas, which some of them are really, really great. I actually think they're all good. They're all good for sure, but some are really great. But what generally happens is closer to the end of the year, closer to Thanksgiving, which is the end of November if you're not in America and don't celebrate Thanksgiving. End of November, we have Thanksgiving. That's about the time I'll probably throw it out to everyone to start sending in more nominations, because I am going to call out for nominations every year. Even though I do have, God, what do I have right now? 10, if I'm looking correctly. Actually, call that 9, because one of them was this one. So thank you. It looks like if I have this written down right, Jack is the one that recommended this one. So thank you, Jack, for this topic, because this is a fun one. But I have 9 more on the list here. But I will still call out for stuff probably around Thanksgiving, and then come the end of the year-end bash, we will have picked a topic. I'll announce that. I think I usually announce at the year-end bash, which is the last episode of December, and then we basically will have January, February to get your nominations in, and then at the very end of February, I will unveil what the bracket will look like, and then we'll start voting again March 1st. Also, I wanted to call out my shirt. Nothing but strikes at Midworld Lanes. I found this in my closet. I don't even remember where I got it from. I've had this one for a long time. I know that was a little bit of a tangent, but yeah, so I will call. So again, November-ish, late November, I'll be asking for topics. End of December, we'll pin down what the topic is. And again, if your topic isn't picked, though, I'm throwing it into my little bag of topic ideas, which means that you may not see it. If your topic didn't win this year, it doesn't win for 2025. Don't worry, I'm going to hoard these things, because if we're going to do this every year, sometimes it gets hard to think of topics. So I am gathering these, and I will continually just pick my favorite one, but I'll always call for nominations. End of December, call it out. You guys all give me your nominations for the January and February. Set the bracket. End of February, March 1st, 2025, we will be back. So that is what we got for this little video. I also want to thank you. I think I already started that a little bit out of order because I don't have any notes. I'm just winging it here. But yeah, thank you all for being part of this. Thank you all for voting. I love this. This is one of my favorite little things that we built over the years because I think it's just fun. I know everyone gets into the bracket stuff if you're a sports fan. I've never been the biggest basketball fan. But I know people love it. People get into the bracket mentality quite a bit. So I think this is just a fun thing for all of us Dark Tower fans and Stephen King fans. But definitely more Dark Tower. I don't think we have only done Dark Tower topics. But yeah, thank you all for being part of this. Thanks for the nominations. Thanks for the discussions. Thanks for the voting. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching watching and listening to the regular podcast as well. Thank you all for all your support across the board. But thank you for supporting March Insanity, because this would be nothing without you guys. If it turned out to be a thing where nobody was voting but me, or whatever, probably wouldn't have lasted as long as it has, but you guys are all killing it. You guys are making this a lot of fun, so thank you all so much for being a part of this. So I will sign off, as I always do, by saying long days and pleasant nights.